Hello, I'm Professor Dogwood, and also Matthew's, Austin's, and Haley's actual grandmother, or as they call me, their Mima. And I, as the leading professor here, welcome you to the Osee Region, where I study the longevity of Pokemon and the mysteries behind it. And you're listening to the Osee Pokemon Podcast, an actual play, Dungeons and Dragon podcast with Pokemon as the theme. Join Matthew as the Pokemon Dungeon Master, Austin as Jess Jones, Haley as Kurt Mitt, Bianca as Abigail Adler, and Jenny as Jenny Edogawa in their fight against the evil company, Cooperai, their inner demons, legendary Pokemon, and tragic backstories as they set off to save the Osee region and quite possibly the world. Their very own Pokemon legend is about to unfold. A world of dreams and adventures with Pokemon awaits. We hope you enjoy, and thank you for listening.
Hello, and welcome back to the Osee Pokemon Podcast. My name is Matthew. I am here joined by
Austin playing Jess,
Jenny playing as Jenny, Bianca playing as Abigail, and Haley playing as Kurt.
All right, and so with everyone here, we're still going to do a couple recaps. I believe this will probably be the last one before I can actually put some recordings in. I decided to twist it up a little bit more, let you guys hear what our players actually sound like as opposed to my wonderful voice talking to you. And this one's going to be a bit longer as I've conjoined a couple adventures together, so you guys can enjoy more of that content in one go. Now, let's begin. Our heroes head off to Lily Marsh. The beginning of their journey took a sour turn when a Pokemon trainer from Jess's former workplace known as Cooperai was found beheading the legendary Pokemon, Lugia, the guardian of the seas. However, with a stroke of good luck, or perhaps fate, an egg was found in the cavern just outside of Begonia Cape. The mayor of Begonia Cape mentioned the renowned Professor Dogwood, to seek her guidance about how to protect or even nurture this egg. The party decided to travel to Rose City to receive the professor's advice if they could make it there in one piece. However, the party took a day to walk along open grassy plains towards their next destination, Lily Marsh. So, let's talk about Lily Marsh. The environment is actually better classified as an estuary, an environment where freshwater and saltwater mix, causing all sorts of wild Pokemon to congregate here, even if they're normally found solely in one of the aforementioned water conditions. Lily Marsh is also a hotspot in the region for one thing: fishing. Since this is a unique environment for the Osee region, you'll find many fishing aficionados and tourists coming here to possibly snag a rare catch. The buildings are built on wooden foundations and are sturdily built into any solid ground below in the muck. The town also features several wooden rigid bridges. It's fun to say, rigid bridges. Can I get a rigid bridges?
Rigid Bridges.
Rigid Bridges?
No. The building's features look Asiatic, if race were a thing in the Osee region. There is no race in the Pokemon world other than what region you are from. So, Osee region's the best region, pagoda-style roofs are tiled with clay from the estuary itself, but dyed this vivid red or navy blue, along with dark imported mahogany wood from the upriver forest. Bamboo and reeds grow in tandem along the river's coast as the river flows gently out of the westward ocean. A main channel goes through the town and looks to be a sort of battlefield. This place was based off a local natural estuary in Torrance, California, full of cliffs above and the large marshlands below. However, when our heroes arrived to this fishing town, it was decorated with pennants and water Pokemon-themed balloons. Wingull, Murkrow, and Spearow scour the waters and fishers for any morsels, while the reeds teem with life from a large array of water Pokemon. Poliwag, Squirtles, Goldeen, Magikarp, Feebas, and all sorts. And it seemed like there were as many fishers as Pokemon alongside the river. Upon closer inspection, it looks like there was a festival occurring. And before our heroes could cross the main, largest bridge that leads into the main part of the unsupported town, they heard a splash, followed by praise and angry shouting.
Good job, Braviary! We'll catch ourselves a winning catch in no time!
This man, who was adorned in an Indiana Jones outfit, a beige button-up with dark brown slacks, along with comically large galoshes and signature high-crown fedora.
Hey! You gonna do that?
Can't do it.
Get the fish away! Jackass!
Hey, watch it, dumbass! I'm trying to catch a Gyarados. Yeah? What about the rest of us? What are you gonna do about that?
Cease your incessant shouting. I'm trying to help the Osee region. While you chittering chimchaws are dangling your rod, I'm trying to preserve the...
The Braviary emerges from the water and lets out an intimidating shriek, only to pick up the water gun man and lift him into the sky. Fine, have it your way, but I will win that grand prize. While these two opposing parties screamed at each other, the sound of hollow, dull footsteps echoed from the bridge's underbelly, breaking our party's concentration. I didn't expect people to become so lively now. A younger-looking gentleman who looks eerily like Brendan Urie with a fishing vest and a brand new fishing hat or a bucket hat with some lures hooked inside the fabric greets the party with a friendly wave and eager smile as he pops a small confetti popper onto the party. Welcome to Lily Marsh's first ever fishing tournament. My name is Markle, and I am the organizer and the host for this tournament. You see, the original settlers of the Osee region would come and fish here and have a festival. I felt we had a duty to uphold traditions no matter how old.
Kurt's gonna ask the man, There's Pokemon in that river?
He looks at you and just blinks his eyes very slowly. Yes.
What?
I take it you're new around here?
I mean, yeah.
Would you guys like to participate in the tournament then?
Jess is gonna ask. Yeah, I was just going to ask how we could participate in the fishing tournament.
Jenny looks at the man and says, Can we participate to date you?
You know, there's a lemonade stand over there since you seem to be so thirsty. You know, refreshments are free at this point.
I'm just staring at him with my mouth.
And, you, miss, just looks at Abigail, completely ignoring both Matt and Jenny, and Matt's just like, that's kind of rude. You looked over me.
Abigail's gonna look and say, wow.
Okay, yeah, lemonade stand, over there. For those of you participating, here are the rules. You can enter the tournament before 12 p.m. You have from here until 12 to catch a water-type Pokemon. By then, you're going to register that Pokemon into the competition. You're going to have a battle. It's going to be a sort of tournament cup style. And it has to be a water Pokemon that you have caught here in Lily Marsh. Those who win the tournament will be able to use the Lily Marsh's own version of an ancient relic called the Mystic Water. You'll find that rental rods will be over there, along with bait, tackle, and everything else you need. Any questions?
So, Kurt asks, how many Pokemon is in that river?
You know what? Why don't you take some time to go find out, and then let me know afterwards.
Okay. Thank you.
And you guys walk off this bridge, and he's looking at Jess, Abigail, and Kurt. Come on. Okay, this will work. This is going to work out. It's going to work out, Markle. It's going to work. The party went to work and fishing for Pokemon, testing their luck to fish before noon came by. They donned some rented fishing equipment and took to the waters, picking a nice secluded part of the river where they could all fish side by side. They could see Wooper teasing them from the river, Yanma tickling the water before flying off, and Golding eyeing the suspicious group who tempted them with small, delicious morsels. While fishing, the party decided to talk amongst themselves for a little bit.
Jess turns over to Jenny. And I don't know if I'm doing this right. I haven't caught anything yet.
I don't know how to do this either. I've never fished before.
Abigail turns to both Jenny and Jess and is like, I don't know what I'm doing. How does one fish?
Yeah, her line's all tangled up.
I guess we'll learn together.
Okay.
Aww. And then Kurt?
Kurt chimes in, Hey guys!
So
You know the orange carp, the orange carp thing?
Yeah,
Oh, Magikarp.
Yeah! Are they really as dumb as, like, the myths say?
They're not myths. Matt chimes in, they're not myths, they're just dumb.
Since when?
Since always, I think.
They just splash around. Splash.
And right before 12, Jess's line had become taut, and the line was being pulled by something in the water.
Oh my gosh, I think I got one, guys!
Oh my gosh, pull it in!
I'm trying!
Catch it, Jess!
Help
Get
me!
Pull!
I go behind Jess and I help her reel it in.
Yeah, you guys yank out this Pokemon from the water, and it looks like a big blue tadpole with this black squirrel on a white belly and luscious, thick pink lips and 2 eyes just opposite of each other. It's pretty derpy looking at it. You guys would know, common knowledge, this is a polywag.
Hey, not bad.
How cute! It's a polywag!
What did it just say?
Oh my
Bah?
Oh, I think I need to throw it back in the water.
No! No!
Jenny and Abigail, all of a sudden your lines begin to pull.
Ah! Pull it in! Reel it in! I'm not strong! Come on! Count 3, pull really hard! 1, 2, 3, yeah!
What is it?
I can't see!
After pulling in tandem, in sync with each other, and hoping for a big catch, they see 2 tiny minnows who look like they are crying with they're comparable to the size of the hook that you have at the end of your line. You know that these are little wishy-washy.
Why are they so sad?
Oh,
They have what look like perpetually crying eyes, a tiny silver body with the top half of it being blue, as well as a sort of small pattern along the side of it. They look very pathetic. These are very pathetic looking Pokemon.
Oh no, I think we hurt them, Jenny!
Oh my goodness.
You can see Poliwag just goes over to it and almost tries to eat it.
No!
No! Leave my baby alone!
Kurt, your line is still loose.
I start looking around at everyone who'd already caught something, Oh, maybe I'm just not meant to have Pokemon, I guess. I slunk.
Kurt slunks into the marsh, just getting his full, thick ass wet with mud and water. This is a marshland, and you decided to sit. All of a sudden, you feel a tug at your shorts.
Oh,
You look down and
Squirtle,
see
squirt.
a tiny blue turtle with a green exterior shell and a, pale yellow underside of the shell.
oh my god, it's so tiny.
It looks very tiny and looks up at you with these big eyes, almost as if it's saying, "Are you okay, mister?"
Single tear. I pick up the small little turtle and turn around to the group. Guys! Guys! Look! I thrust my hands up in the air.
As Kurt thrusts, you see a tiny turtle in his hands. It looks even smaller because of how big his hands are. And you see this is not just a regular Squirtle, a shiny Squirtle.
Oh.
Oh my god, he's so cute!
Where did you get him?
He was just, munching on my shorts.
He was eating your shorts!
See the Squirtle just looks at you like, "What? No, I wasn't." And just looks at everyone else. I was not munching on his shorts, just like motioning his hands like I wasn't doing that.
Pet him on the head. You're so cute.
I regret my decision. They went to go register their Pokemon with Marco, who was waiting at the registration desk. I see you caught some Pokemon. Are you ready to battle?
We sure are!
I think I am.
Oh, I'm not sure. Isn't that dangerous?
It's not dangerous. It'll be heavily moderated, and you'll be A-okay. We'll heal up your Pokemon right afterwards. But you get to keep what you caught. This is just as a sort of tradition to revive the old ways of the Osee region, and for you to possibly get a Mystic Water.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All 4 of the trainers began undergoing battles for the competition. Battling another Wooper, a Squirtle, a Feebas, and a Corphish, all defeating them single-handedly almost. Matthew had not taken to the competition, not subjecting his new Wooper to any battling just after catching him, until it boiled down to the trainers having to battle each other. Kurt's Squirtle put up a good fight, but Jess's Poliwag's Hypnosis proved superior in a one-on-one battle. Squirt was knocked out, but not before putting in a few well-placed bites before getting put to sleep. Abigail and Jess were up next due to Jenny's opponent mysteriously vanishing. Jess and Abigail fought hard with Abigail's Wishy-Washy crying loud enough in the river. She summoned more and more Wishy-Washy to make the school form. Although size isn't everything during this battle, Jess's Poliwag was able to spam Hypnosis and deal a good chunk of health to Abigail's new Wishy-Washy, but was felled by a large bite attack. The Demon of the Seas keeps their title for this battle. But Poliwag did put up a very good fight.
Hypnosis!
Yeah, the whole battle was just
Hypnosis, hypnosis.
Yeah.
But
And Abigail just kept missing.
Yeah.
And the wishy-washy just kept missing everything.
Yeah. Leave me alone.
Then, the climax of the tournament came when two wishy-washies faced off against each other as the finale. The sky darkened and rain began to fall as if it was by fate. Or perhaps the ways of the old have summoned more water to these lands, one way or another. The two fish army beasts clashed into each other with well-placed bites and aqua tails. Abigail's wishy-washy were swinging more wildly though, missing some crucial hits. And before Jenny could deal the final blow as the sun pierced through the clouds, laughter was heard from the skies above. They looked up and saw the same gentleman with a flowing cape and Indiana Jones outfit, minus all the fishing garb. He was holding several tear-shaped gemstones on strings.
These belong in the museum. Adam Hunter, the historian with a history of thievery, strikes again.
Marco was alerted. Someone stop him! He's taken all the mystic waters! The party jumped into action with Jess using her Ghastly's mean look to help pursue the Braviary.
Ghastly, chase them and use mean look so they don't get away.
While Kurt's Kleppa used some lucky metronomes.
Clever! Do the meteor thing again!
Kleppa shakes her little hands, and not a meteor comes out, but a bubble beam.
That works too, I guess.
Kleppa shook her little fingers / stubs and blasted the immobile Braviary from the sky, causing Adam Hunter to lose his grip on the necklaces. Ghastly dove for the necklace. If the necklaces fall in the river, they would immediately be lost. Ghastly and the necklaces raced, and as Ghastly's comical tongue was about to slurp up the necklaces, they hit the water. Forever lost. If it weren't for Jess's new Poliwag and Kurt's shiny Squirtle, the necklaces perfectly wrapped around the Poliwag's tadpole body and Squirtle's rugged shell, the necklaces were safe and sound. Jess's Poliwag saved the day and earned their rightful place on Jess's team, earning the nickname
Waggy Paul.
as well as Squirtle earning a spot on Kurt's team, promptly earning the nickname
Squirt!
The Mystic Waters were returned to Marco, who was more than delighted to see the relics of Lily Marsh returned. You know what? You and your friends were part of the finals anyway, and this is the first and probably final tournament. Here you go. You and your friends can have one of each of these. Now, they're going to be slightly different than your regular Mystic Waters. The gems were treated with the water of Lily Marsh, allowing any water Pokemon that normally can't, have to fight in the water to be able to sort of swim through the air, so to speak. They're very special. So what that basically means is, let's say you have a Goldeen. Normally, if you have a Goldeen that, you can't battle unless there's a body of water nearby. If they're wearing the Mystic Necklace, though, they'll do bonus damage, as well as be able to fight as if they were swimming around in the air. Marco then took to the podium back to the battlefield, bringing the party with him.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The group that saved our beloved tournament from the likes of Adam Hunter.
You hear boos. The fishermen and spectators all clapped and whooped, also more than happy to rid the town of that sticky-fingered treasure hunter. One of the fishers even stepped up to the party. "Hey, I don't reckon that you think this belonged to that odd feller up there." It was a note that read, "Fire Lily Lake. Eternal fire? Steel?" So with that, our trainers received some very strong water-type Pokemon companions, a relic of Lily Marsh, the Mystic Water. Mechanically, this allows Pokemon that only live in water to be used out of the water, and also boosts water-type moves by 1d6. But now they also have a new motive to head to Fire Lily Lake to stop the idiotic treasure hunter, Adam Hunter, from stealing another town's artifact. Marco then gave the party a helping hand getting him through Fire Lily Lake and Foxglove Forest. He pulled out his Pokeball and summoned a large red Gyarados. He said the Gyarados would help them go up the river, since that would be the fastest way through the forest, straight to Fire Lily Lake, which is the first stop in Foxglove Forest, a large forest that lies in the heart of the Osee Region, with all sorts of trees and bug Pokemon. He also told them to tell the chief of Fire Lily Lake that Marco says hello. Our party hopped into the Gyarados and promptly took off up the river on this giant serpentine beast with blood-red scales. So with that, our trainers headed into Foxglove Forest. They were able to take it easy as they cruised upriver thanks to the giant red Gyarados that was lent to them by Marco of Lily Marsh. After participating in a fishing tournament, our trainers were getting to know their new water Pokemon pretty well. So the trip is going to take a couple days, so what was everyone doing these past couple days, kind of relaxing?
Jess is, on the way there, Jess sits atop the Gyarados' head, and she holds her Poliwag pole in her lap and gently caresses its bald head.
Jenny takes out Umi, and they both sunbathe on the beach.
And who's Umi again?
Umi is my oddish, beautiful baby oddish.
Kurt and Abigail, what are you guys doing?
Kurt's just inspecting his newly acquired Pokemon, assorting them based on what hues of green that they have into the cutest color sequence, inspecting their bodies, what they can do, just trying to learn more about them.
Alright, so who was cutest from least cute?
No comment.
And Abigail, what are you doing?
Abigail's just gonna have Mary and Arthur, with her on the Gyarados' body, and then Starlish is gonna be, swimming around, and I'm gonna be, petting her if she, passes by. It's cute.
Alright. Our heroes were approaching a huge grove of trees, aside from the flat marshlands they had become so accustomed to. The party was finally closing in on Fire Lily Lake, a settlement that was run by one of Marco's old friends and their first stop in Foxglove Forest. Now, before we actually go into Foxglove Forest, let me describe it to you a little bit. Foxglove Forest is this huge consolidation of all sorts of trees. However, the main plant you'll see is the foxglove plant that grows alongside this wide, slow-moving river. Their pink, purple, or periwinkle bell-like petals flowing on gentle breezes as spring lets out their final burst of cross-pollination attempts. The trees roared in a cacophony of applause as our trainers entered the forest, and the buzzing of bug-type Pokemon was more than enough to almost drown out the early applause. Foxglove Forest is this dense forest that is home to almost all the bug-type Pokemon in the Osee region. One of the main reasons for this is because of the thick canopy that lies above the forest's grounds, a natural barrier for most bug-type Pokemon to travel unburdened by the threat of aerial bird Pokemon. The branches were too abundant to maneuver through, though. However, some bird Pokemon still try, and some even succeed. But the challenge is too great for most, and they have found natural habitats elsewhere. Grass, normal, and even some electric Pokemon have taken residence here. Foxglove Forest is the largest collection of trees in the Osee region and protects Rose City and other smaller settlements within these dense woods. However, the buzzing of the bug-type Pokemon grew louder and louder. It was a horde of bugs. Our trainers went from relaxing to instant battle mode, getting ready to fend off any wicked insects that come their way.
I turn to Abigail and say, "What is that vibrating?"
I don't know, Kurt. Sounds like it's getting closer.
All of a sudden, the sky filled with yellow and black. It couldn't have been a worse Pokemon to deal with. This huge wasp-like creature with small lances for hands and a third stinger on their ever-ready abdomen with angry red eyes and translucent wings fluttered faster than the eye could see. The iconic, terrifying, poison bee Pokemon, Beedrill. 3 Beedrill swooped in and attacked the party. Jess, having a better grasp of type advantages, now took out her Growlithe, Archie. Abigail used her Alolan Sandshrew, Arthur. Jenny used her new Bagon to test out its battle prowess. And Kurt used Squirtle to get in some water gun training. Beedrill acted fast, swiftly taking care of their most immediate threat, the only fire Pokemon, Archie. They swarmed Archie and immediately jabbed it to unconsciousness, leaving Jess both frustrated and saddened by how cruel nature can be sometimes. She used her reaction to immediately return Growlithe and sent out for Ghastly. Ghastly was able to injure a Beedrill with a use of its Nightshade, greatly injuring it as revenge for its combo. Bagon was able to fully dispose of one of these flying wasps with its own Ember attack. This big-headed baby dragon was here to do business. Kurt Squirtle Squirt and Abigail Sandshrew Arthur were able to finish off the injured Beedrill, and seeing their companions fall, the last Beedrill fled for its life. However, with her netball, Abigail caught herself a Beedrill right before it landed in the waters below. Gyarados in all this was keeping off some more of the main swarm, seeing as how only 3 broke off to attack the party was pretty good, because there were hyper beams left and right to utterly destroy these winged pests. Abigail and Jess then healed their Pokemon with some potions from Begonia Cape. Archie popped back up, and Abigail wanted to try out her new Beedrill, whom she named Reggie. However, the unrelenting forest barely gave them any time to breathe as another swarm of yellow and black took over the clear skies. But instead, it wasn't more Beedrill, but rather docile, honeycomb-looking Pokemon. Their awkward, ill-formed bodies were being carried by their slender, thin wings. They appeared to look as if they were 3 large, honey-colored hexagons put together with a face on each shape. More importantly, though, these odd bugs had a leader, a matriarch following them and buzzing out orders. A queen bee with a black and yellow dress with honeycombs for whoever is brave enough to peek under a queen's dress. She appeared to look more humanoid with arms and a very buggy-looking head. She clocked the party and attacked their home's intruders, sending down 8 combi to do her dirty work since she was the Queen Vespa Queen. However, the queen may have overestimated her subjects as they missed nearly every attack before fully succumbing to some flying attacks and pokeballs. Jess, Abigail, and Jenny all caught some combi. However, Kurt aimed high for the queen herself using his own netball. The netball soared through the sky and opened, showing a flash of a net, capturing this regal Pokemon before falling back down to Earth. The Pokeball was looking to land in the water, and both Squirt and Cleffa tried to grab it before they lost it. Their second Pokemon lost in the river. If it weren't for the quick, surprising agility of a Munchlax lazing on Gyarados. They jumped off the Gyarados and quickly grabbed the Pokeball, proudly showing it off on the river's edge. The group cheered as Munchlax hopped back onto the Gyarados, but not before sticking out their paw for a form of payment for the services rendered. Kurt had to give up some of his lunch, but pretty worth it for a fully evolved Vespiquen. He took out the new Pokemon and greeted the Vespiquen, only for it to dismiss him. She quickly greeted the other trainers, and Kurt noticed a pattern. This bee was sexist! A bit steamed, he recalled the Pokemon back into its ball. Fine, it's cool. Whatever, you know? Not rude at all. He was over it. Totally over it.
Totally.
They continued upriver, wondering why they were attacked so rudely. Even Matthew was very surprised. These bug-type Pokemon are usually pretty docile and stay away from most humans. Something's going on, especially since this should be their home. I don't know, just keep your eyes open for anything that seems suspicious or odd. But before they could think about it too much in depth, the river bent around the remaining trees to reveal a large, beautiful lake. The lights shimmered off the disturbed waters, ripples echoing throughout the entire lake's surface. Lotad stuck their giant lily pad heads under the water at the sight of this huge red monster. Ducklet immediately take off, and all the fish Pokemon under the clear surface make way for the group, but also mainly for their bodyguard, the Gyarados. The group then sees civilization alongside the northeastern part of the lake, where a smaller river continues, one much too small for Gyarados. Our heroes arrived at Fire Lily Lake, jumping off Gyarados onto the lapping shores of the village, where they were greeted by a group as well as a man with a bright red set of armor that had a conjoined metal circle that was resemblant of a legendary Pokemon known as Volcanion, mounted on his upper back. He was a man of command and definitely had the air about him.
Hello, I have been expecting you all from Marvel. He told me a group of talented, good-hearted trainers would be coming through here. I am Fox, the leader of Fire Lily Lake. You're just in time for our annual fire festival.
He looked at the Gyarados and waved his hand, nodding his head as thanks.
Send Marco my regards. Thank you, old friend.
You see the Gyarados roars and dives back into the water, using a hyper beam underwater to create a farewell water show before leaving the lake back to the river. The group cheered, while some unlucky Magikarp flew into the sky from the blast. The music resumed as the people of Fire Lily Lake went back to the festivities. The smell of several meat and veggies grilling were the first to hit our party senses, followed by the sound of flutes and percussion instruments and rowdy laughter and whooping. Perks walked with the party, leading them through the town, as the villagers all gave the party some free foods and small gifts. Perks went through the rundown of what the Fire Festival was about.
The Fire Festival here and is meant to celebrate to an important part of the Osee's history. Atham, one of the Osee's hero, had an Arcanine that sacrificed himself, and that created a giant pillar of fire that was visible to the entire region and quite possibly the world. So, with that, we decided to build a trial for those who wish to leave.
The party walked through, hands full of skewers of meat and festival foods. But they were interrupted by the sight of something truly grand in front of them. There is a huge wooden pillar that is covered in several obstacles going from the bottom up. 1/5 of the very tall pole was covered in a rope net, latticed and glued permanently to the base to climb upwards. After the ropes was the bare pillar? No, there was too much of a sheen on it. It was slick and looked like it was covered in viscous oil. And after that was a labyrinth of swinging wooden arms. The slightest breeze seemed to send one flying round and round, knocking down any entrance coming in, and the random spear Pidgey flying through. And the fourth segment was Bare Pillar. And although it was mathematically equal to the other obstacles, this stretch of bare pillar seemed even more daunting with no grips, no tricks, and no shortcuts. Grip was the only important thing here, and lastly, a bungee cord hooked to the pole's top, or at least not completely all the way. The trick here was to hook yourself up to the bungee cord, climb up the entirety where it was mounted. So you basically climb up to where it is mounted in the pole. Wasn't enough for you to reach the top completely, and you drop. You free fall back down in hopes that fate and destiny have you believe that you are meant to lead this tribe.
Those who wish to lead must succeed on climbing our own trial. The Fire Spire is a tribute to all the legendary Pokemon who are important to the village, including the benevolent Volcanion, who granted us many gifts and ways of life through their journey through the world. But that is a story for a different time.
The party marveled at the Fire Spire, intimidated and impressed by whomever has enough courage to face even half this tower. However, they did see a young boy with a thick piece of fabric wrapped around his head to almost resemble a rope. His brown hair was put into a top knot, and his short sleeves turned into a tank top by rolling up the hem? What do you call the end of the short sleeves? He cuffed his sleeves. Thank you, Haley. His skin was a lovely bronze complexion, and he was quite pretty for a young boy. He looked to be about 15 and definitely had a fire in his spirit. A true poster child for anyone coming to Fire Lily Lake.
Ah, and speaking of those who wish to lead our village, Dante, come say hello to our esteemed guests, friends of Markle, and next protectors of Lugia.
You see this kid almost jumps off a raised wooden platform and lands perfectly on the ground, bending his knees greatly to absorb the impact, and immediately standing up to greet you all. He has a big smile and a stretched hand. Hi, I'm Dante, and I'm going to become the next chief of Fire Lily Lake, just like my father.
Dante, you must bow before esteemed guests. Act humble if you are going to become the next chief.
Ah, you're right, father. My apologies. Dante bows deeply and quickly, standing back up and beaming with excitement. Will you guys be participating in any of the events going on?
What do you guys have to do around here?
So you guys take a quick look around, and you see it's almost like a carnival almost. So you see all these booths, they're setting up games, you see a trivia, you see ring toss, you see a tester strength challenge, you also see a version of Whack-A-Mole called Whack-A-Diggler.
As you can see, we have set up many booths for your entertainment. However, I'm hoping to maybe get two of you to participate in the main event, or one of the most important battles for the festival.
What is it?
You see, we at Fire Lily Lake love battle. We love fire type. We love fighting types. So, maybe you, big strong man,
Me?
and the younger girl here, how about you two battle for us?
Me?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, I'm like 3 times her height. I don't know if it'd be fair.
With your Pokemon.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not going to put you on stage to beat up a
Yeah.
little girl.
Yeah.
Unless you want that.
No,
Because you're
of course not.
sick.
No. I turn around.
You seem flustered.
You're putting me in a tight position, man.
So after this awkward encounter, Perks then shows you guys to a display case. Inside you see a petrified flame almost. It looks to be clear. It almost looks like fire, but it looks like it's been frozen almost. So it looks like there's no life. It's cold to the touch, at least when you touch the glass.
The Eternal Flame here, a piece of Moltres that shows who truly will become the next fire chief. At least a person who has Moltres' blessing. Moltres is a symbol of justice and victory for us, and those who uphold the same values will also earn Moltres' guidance. However, we have been waiting for some time to find who's worthy. Even I didn't receive the Eternal Flame's blessing, but people spoke, and I was able to carry out my position. It was my destiny, but not written for me to have Moltres' attention. But between you and me,
Leans in close.
I have a feeling it will be a certain sum.
You guys look around stupidly. And even Dante's looking around. Huh?
I'm just like...
The party then split into 2 groups. Kurt and Abigail were to take the main stage, and Jess and Jenny helped Dante in a group battle between 2 other groups of 3. But not before playing some of these booth games. Jess tried her hand at some trivia, figuring out what number a certain Pokemon was, her type effectiveness. She got them all right, and she was able to earn some points. Kurt was doing a sort of test your strength challenge.
Points for what?
You see Dante and Burks both chime in. They say,
Oh, you can get points for the Fire Festival if you play these games, and then at the end of the day, you can cash them in for, some prizes that we have.
Pokeballs, Pokemon, and even a TM for Flamethrower. And you guys also see some local businesses are open here as well. So with the points in mind, Abigail tried her hand at a ring toss and earned a couple of smaller points here or there. These games are rigged. Everyone knows that. And Jenny did a Whack-A-Diglett game, and she pretty much crushed it. She did really good. So, with that in mind, they were able to continue collecting some points, and they were going to get some extra points by helping Dante with his battle against the Lava Dancers and the Flaming Jungle Group. These two were groups that were challenging Dante's position that he's had for the past 3 years as Junior Fire Champion. We'll be taking the title this year, Dante. Then our collective points over the years, we'll be able to get stronger Pokemon. In your dreams, Donovan, me and Monferno are going to wipe the floor with your butts. Jess and Jenny joined Dante for the beginning of these battles. They faced off the Lava Racers first, a team of Slugma Racers. Who were they racing? Arceus only knows what they... What? What'd you say to me? What'd you call me?
The fuck you say to me?
Arceus only knows what could be as slow as a slug. For a quick description for Slugmas, they imagine a slug-like creature with a more pronounced face, flaming eyebrows, as well as they're made out of lava. But they were quickly defeated by Jess's Growlithe Archie and Jenny's new Bagon Dabian. Archie was using Dig and being able to use this super effective move against the Slugma, dealt with them very quickly, while Dabian, the Bagon, headbutted and bit into the Slugmas, although scalding his tongue and forehead each time. Next was a group of Chimchars and a Monferno. But before Jess and Jenny and Dante could even start the next battle, they were noticing how many boos and jeers they were getting from the crowd.
Boo! Use fire-type moves! Use fighting-type moves! What the hell's that blue thing?
Our favorite color's red around here.
Me!
Boo!
But he has a fire type move.
Okay, use that.
No.
Boo!
The next battle included a group of Chimchars, 2 Chimchars and a Monferno. The Chimchars were able to deftly dodge Archie's dig attacks, while Dante's Monferno was able to hit them with blinding Mach Punches and Flame Wheels. Donovan, who also owned the opposing Monferno, was striking best as he can on Dabi, and eventually taking him out, while the 2 Chimchars were taken out by Archie and Dante's Monferno. Dabian had summoned and put up a very good fight, but it was felled by the much quicker Simeon. Yeah, go Donovan! Beat up that blue thing!
My little Bagon, what'd you do?
Oh no, Jenny! Shut up, Donovan!
My name's not Donovan.
This is a guy in a crowd. Yeah, I'm Donovan!
Oh.
I don't care!
And you see Dante looks at you like, we'll avenge him, don't worry. Jess and I can take care of him, right?
Let's do it.
In your dreams, Dante! Monferno, Mach Punch! And the battle resumed. Monferno and Archie battled fiercely. A flurry of flames danced on the battlefield as these 2 primates fought for dominance with Archie in the middle of the battle. Archie shone brightly in the battle and seemed unrelenting in every attack, but was felled by Donovan's very hurt Monferno.
Oh no, Archie! Dante, looks like you're on your own.
That's okay, thanks for helping. I'll win this for us. No, you're gonna go down, Dante. Me and Monferno are gonna take that title from you. I'm too excitable right now. I don't know how to talk. And you see Dante just plants both feet on the ground and he says, this one's for you, Jess and Jenny. I won't let your guys' effort go in vain. A solid punch from Monferno landed on Donovan's monkey. An explosion of flame erupted from the tube as dust and embers stirred in the air. A deafening silence from the crowd made the atmosphere that much more suspenseful. The air was warm with tension, and in the middle, 2 small lights showed 2 silhouettes. One Monferno standing and one Monferno lying down. The dust finally settled and Dante's Monferno stood tall, knees slightly buckled and fist held high above its tired head. The crowd erupted into a cheer. The champion Dante has kept his title after a very fiery battle. You hear voices from the crowd. Man, fired Pokemon are the best. Fighting Pokemon too, no way any type is better than either one of those.
Yeah, fucking tight, dog. But my Bagon help. And it's not fire.
You know what? Yeah. You know what? Those bites are pretty good. Put her there, Bagon. And you see everyone's fist bumping your little Bagon. And he's like headbutting their little fist. You see that they're also petting Archie. Man, your Growlithe was really doing really good out there. Like, is this a purebred Growlithe?
I don't know, I just kind of found him.
Well, you found a keeper.
I sure did.
Hey, just come to me if you ever want to evolve the thing, I'll give you a good price on Firestones.
Is this like a scam?
No, not a not a scam. Oh, you see, he puts away some fake-looking Firestones.
Hey, those look kind of plastic, don't you think?
No. Don't worry about it, kid. Don't worry about it. You didn't see nothing. And he slinks back into the crowd.
What the fuck?
An announcer broke the cheers and conversations.
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Dante, son of Ferks, for winning the Junior Fire competition. And if you could please consolidate at the main stage for the main event. A battle between two esteemed guests under the invitation of our current tribe leader, Ferks. Kurt, Mitt, and Abigail Adler, please come meet with Ferks now. Remember, folks, this is the battle for the crown.
Dante went to quickly shake hands with Donovan, who seemed in high spirits even after losing. Perhaps it was the optimism of Dante's rival that kept the fire of passion, but then Dante rejoined the group and they all headed over to the main stage after healing up their Pokemon with yet more free food from all the spectators. Spicy popcorn, hot and spicy octilyaki, and buffalant kebabs. Food made from Pokemon. Delish! Kurt and Abigail took to the sidelines of the main stage, a wooden stage that seems to have its fair share of battles and events. In the middle of the stage stood on a pedestal with a lovely golden crown on a soft velvet pillow trimmed with golden threads. It had an ornate design, utilizing negative space around the centerpiece gem, a gem as crimson as the heart of a roaring blaze. Ferks spoke to both Abigail and Kurt.
Okay. Do either of you have fighting or fire-type Pokemon?
Kurt stutters, no.
Do you know what a fire or fighting-type Pokemon is?
They just, breathe fire, and they punch.
What about you, little girl?
I don't have any fire, but I...
You see, he's like,
Okay, we can work with this. The crowd's not going to like it, but you know what? I'm sure if you battle fiercely, as hot as, fire Pokemon themselves, we'll give them a good show.
Thanks, man.
Sure, man, you're kind of looking at me pretty funny.
Well, what do you mean, man?
Get out there.
and he pushes you out onto the center stage. The announcer took the center stage with a megaphone in hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present Kurt, Mitt, and Abigail Adler, two trainers who rode in on a blood-stained Gyarados, who saved Lily Marsh's greatest treasure, and the ones who will bring about peace to the Pokemon world with their trek to Rose City will now battle for our entertainment. This is going to be a standard battle. Each trainer will be able to use 2 Pokemon. Now, show us something fiery.
Kurt and Abigail's battle underwent. The crowd roared in anticipation and excitement, hoping to see their favorite types enter the main event, fire and fighting.
Abigail takes out her Pokemon and chucks it. Go, Mary!
Time for a fiery battle! Go, Squirt!
You guys see a snowy Vulpix comes out, as well as a tiny, shiny turtle. The sound of Pokeballs releasing Pokemon was the only thing filling the air, followed by the rustling of leaves. Hey! Those types suck!
You suck!
How dare you!
The crowd began to boo the 2 trainers. Boo! Boo! Give us fire and fighting types! We love those Pokemon! Yeah, Charmander's my favorite!
I'll show you fighting!
You see Kurt trying to get off the stage, but before Kurt can even jump off the stage and fight the hecklers, you see Ferks takes to the stage in a huff.
Where is your hospitality? We are meant to honor these 2 trainers, regardless of their type. Show some decency!
He stamped his foot, and out of a Pokeball on his belt, a giant dragon-looking turtle with a very spiky shell adorned in 4 black spikes in the center, and a trim of red and yellow emerged. This turtle immediately spewed out a flamethrower of anger, putting the crowd into their place after showing much rudeness to the guests. The crowd immediately sulked after getting scolded by their usually jovial, composed leader. Sorry, honorable guests. Ferks nodded and gestured his hands towards Abigail and Kurt.
We apologize. Please, begin the battle.
Thank you. We will do our best.
Kurt and Abigail began their battle. Kurt Squirtle, though, was having a hard time trying to land a hit on the small snow fox.
You can do it, Squirt! I believe in you!
However, Abigail's typing didn't seem to help against a water type. Her Alolan Vulpix's attacks were making hits, but very ineffectively. It was a battle of attrition for Squirt. If only he could just land a hit! Abigail then made it to Hail to at least deal some more damage with her Ice-type moves. You hear the crowd complaining. It's cold! Ow! Is it hailing? I hate ice!
Hey, shut your mouth and watch
Did you
the
do
show!
this? You suck! Ice-types suck!
You suck!
You see the crowd grumbles angrily and shouted at Abigail. And you see Ferks just gives them all the stink eye and they're just like, sorry, honorable guest. Ice-types suck. Ice-types suck. After a one-sided battle, Squirt succumbed to the powder snow covered in ice and frost, falling to the ground defeated. The crowd seemed saddened by how terribly one-sided this battle was, booing Abigail. Boo! Leave that Squirtle alone!
I will attack you next if you don't shut your mouths!
You see everyone's just like, Kurt was saddened by Squirt losing, but then he threw out Cleffa. Cleffa started out with a lukewarm metronome using a bubble beam on Vulpix. This flurry of bubbles hit Vulpix and Vulpix tried to powder snow the Cleffa. Cleffa hopped very daintily out of the way and retaliated with another metronome. Embers gathered in front of Cleffa's face as Cleffa let out a raging stream of inferno from its mouth. Flamethrower! Vulpix wasn't able to dodge effectively, being hit by the bubble beam earlier, and was hit directly by super effective flames. Vulpix fell, and soon Arthur, Abigail's Alolan Sandshrew, took the stage against this tiny pink menace. Arthur started with a rollout, hitting Cleffa for a clean hit. And the crowd went wild. Things were getting interesting. Both trainers on their last Pokemon, and some physical hits finally coming through in lieu of fire or fighting types. Sandshrew attempted to continue to land some rollouts, but Cleffa kept trying her luck with Metronome. Thunderbolts, a gust, and then a very lucky Fire Blast. Although less lucky for Sandshrew, the crowd went wild for Cleffa being able to conjure fire-type moves, and also for Abigail during her physical hits. However, during this battle, a gentleman had walked up to Jess and Jenny before Kurt and Abigail Pokemon entered the stage. Care to make a bet?
Oh, hi.
Hello.
What do you propose?
Well, you are new here, so I'm assuming you collected some points from the booths or whatever.
I don't.
How about this? I have, let's say, 200 points. And so, if we bet on who wins this battle, you give me your points.
Okay, well then what do I get?
What do you propose?
What was the nature of my bet? I forgot.
You just proposed that if she won, this man would become her slave. He would have to leave his home here, join them on their journey, and become effectively her slave.
Involuntary companion.
Yes, I prefer the term involuntary companion. But yeah, slave.
Well, if anything, I'm probably going to win, so I'll take you up on that bet.
Alright, let's shake on it.
Alright, so you see Jess and this old man, Jenny, shake hands in front of you. And you're probably on your the edge of your seat during this entire battle, just wondering who's going to win between Kurt and Abigail, depending on if you're going to lose your points and if you're going to get a slave. And you see Kurt emerge victorious at the end, and this old man just looks defeated. I lost the bet. He looks at Jess with worried eyes. Oh no.
What's your name?
I do not have a name now. I am your slave.
Well, before we took the bet, what was your name?
My name is Chingbi.
What?
Chingbi.
Jigaboo?
That was clearly not my name.
How about Sean? That's a pretty one.
I hate that name.
It's pretty easy, though.
Hi, Sean.
Hello.
And you see, he begrudgingly has to accept this new name.
My name used to be Jingbi.
Jigaboo.
Not Jingaboo.
So at the end, Kurt was crowned as a fire prince, given the crown that allowed him to gain resistance to fire damage, and to be able to cast Fire Spin once per day. And Jess had earned herself an involuntary companion, or slave. I believe in what you had said too was, I want you to wake up every morning, cook us breakfast, carry all of our bags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much, you're so mean.
But I can divulge that next episode. The crowd settled down a bit as Ferks prepared the next event's announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention one final time? Our most important event is about to take place. My son, Dante, will challenge the Fire Spire this year to prove to everyone that he is worthy of taking my place as tribal leader.
Dante and his Monferno stood up to the Fire Spire, standing at the base of this giant pillar rigged with traps and trials that would challenge his very destiny. He would work with Monferno on the ground, showing his worth as a trainer who has raised a Pokemon to tame the difficult Fire Spire. And with this demonstration, Dante will show that he will be able to show the village that he can lead them to become something great. Monferno began to climb the tower. The long-awaited moment for the two was finally here. A chance to prove to Father that he was indeed worthy. Monferno began to climb the rope part of the pillar, digging his fingers into the braids and climbing with ease. The first fifth was cleared, and the next obstacle came up. The oil. The oil reflected the sun's glare, but Monferno was able to burn through some of the oil through their fingertips and touch the bare wood underneath, showing extreme control and precision with their flames. So good, so far. Monferno then hopped into a nearby swinging arm, immediately taking off with the limb. The wooden arm shook with anticipation as Monferno attempted to leap through another arm, pushing off the unstable arm and latching onto the next step towards the top. But a strong breeze came through from somewhere, where the next arm came swinging maliciously and struck Monferno in the face,
knocking them off completely.
Monferno hurtled to the ground, and Dante's life shattered in pieces as his best friend was falling to the ground. Dante rushed to catch him using his body as a cushion. They had failed. Another strong breeze came through, and all of a sudden someone gasped and pointed towards the top of the Fire Spire. A silhouette of an eagle and a man who was holding a glass box. The Eternal Fire! Dante speaks up with Monferno on his stomach. Who is that guy?
Oh, not him again!
Who? You know him? Who is he?
It's Adam Hunter!
Oh, yes! It is I, Adam Hunter, treasure hunter extraordinaire, and I have stolen Firely Lake's eternal fire, the eternal flame.
His laughter echoed through the sky. Ferks, though, seemed to be very calm, and smiled at the opportunity that lied in front of him, knowing that this could mean something.
Oh no! If only someone could save the eternal fire,
he said in a very stale voice. Dante and Monferno's eyes were immediately filled with fire and anger. The pride of the village was being stolen by some thief. And he looks at Monferno. Ready to try again, buddy? Monferno only clasped his human trainer's hand in a firm, solid handshake of trust. Monferno began to climb up, using their new wisdom already from their first attempt to easily clear through the rope and oil. Adam Hunter was flying on the winds, flaunting his new treasure. Jess and Kurt and Abigail leapt into action with Ghastly, Vespiquen, and Reggie, the Beedrill. They distracted and attacked Adam Hunter's Braviary to keep him in place, or at least grab the eternal fire from him. Ghastly used Mean Look to freeze the giant eagle again, but it seemed to have learned its lesson from the first time. It retaliated with its own mean scowl and screeched at the ball of poisonous gas. Vespiquen and Reggie were able to hurt Adam Hunter enough for him to have to descend back down towards the fire spire.
Ow, stop! Ow, you're pricking me!
Poke him some more, Reggie!
No, please, no more pokes. I'm very ticklish.
This guy's freaky. He likes it.
I'll do admit, I am quite freaky. Ow, that would hurt!
Oh god.
And in the meantime, Dante's Monferno was back to the swinging arms and quickly cleared through them, dodging each swipe rather than focus on the next step. Dante and Monferno's mindset were both in sync as they cleared through this challenge. Slow motion dodges and just overall badass maneuvers are just like filled, to the brim with this scene, just like Matrix style dodges. Now, the bare pillar showing nothing but the red painted wood between Monferno and the bungee cord that could launch him to the top. Ghastly, though, was pissed. Their huge eyes narrowed into this mean look, not being able to scare this eagle into paralysis. Ghastly began to glow with a bright light. Their body was becoming larger, much more scarier. Giant narrowed eyes and a huge mouth filled with gaseous teeth began to haunt the skies, appearing in front of the brave eagle with the scariest face it could muster. A mean look so devastating that Adam Hunter became paralyzed with fear himself and dropped the Eternal Fire casing, leaving the Eternal Fire exposed, and Adam Hunter quickly grabbed the artifact. But doing so, a cloak of flames engulfed Adam Hunter as the air itself raised at least 50 degrees. This flame burned white and red, similar to Moltrace's flames.
Oh, ow, I'm on fire! Ow!
Ferks looked up and smiled. This was it. Monferno saw that time was running out and jumped. A leap upwards from the arm and reached for the bungee cord's end. Not even tying themselves to the cord, launched themselves with a push off the pillar. This was do or die. You hear Dante shouting, "Go, Monferno! Get the artifact!" Both Monferno and Dante focused on getting the artifact, not concerned for their own pride or victory. Ferks smiled at his son, already knowing that his son will always put the pride of his people before his own. Monferno leapt up and grabbed the Eternal Fire, prying it from the greedy Adam Hunter's burning hands. The Eternal Fire burst into flames, engulfing Monferno, and Monferno fell to the ground. However, there was a bright light in this cocoon of flames emerging from the cracks where the fire did not cover Monferno. The flames then began to take shape into wings of pure energy and bright fire. Monferno? No. A different kind of Pokemon. An Infernape with white fur, brown skin, and a fiery head, was now donning a new pair of flaming wings on its back that could resemble the legendary's own pair before hitting the ground. A strong flap of their new wings sent him flying back up to the paralyzed Braviary who was collapsing. With a series of punches used a close combat on Braviary, sending them flying into the distance, Team Rocket style. Revenge, fury, and passion in every punch earned them this victory as Dante's Infernape landed gracefully back on top of the fire spire, with the Eternal Fire in hand. A loud cry from Infernape stirred the people. They were victorious. Ferks walked and raised Dante's hand.
People of Fire Lily Lake, my son, your new tribal leader, Dante. Please excuse the way I said Fire Lily Lake.
The crowd cheered and laughed even more as Infernape jumped down from the entirety of the pillar, handing the Eternal Fire, which has erupted back to life, back to Ferks, the fire not burning him whatsoever. Under the crowd's cheers,
I am proud of you, Dante. I knew push come to shove, you'll always triumph.
Things settled down as our party went to go cash in their points. What'd you guys end up buying with the points that you got from the games and the battles?
Jess and I went to go get that shiny Cyndaquil in the store.
The shiny Cyndaquil was the top prize.
This moment, there was an older woman who they had stopped by their store and bought some Fire Lily Lake kimonos. They were fire resistant thanks to her special blend of strings from a Larvesta that she had. And so, as Jess and Jenny were going to go get a shiny Cyndaquil from the points rack, she approached them with a sort of plea, saying that her husband also had a shiny Cyndaquil and how she kind of misses him. But so if they would give her the Cyndaquil, she would greatly reward them in return.
We agreed. We went to go get the shiny Cyndaquil, and we gave it to the old lady.
So you both each got a Larvesta from the woman, who had a couple extra, and who got the flamethrower TM?
everything.
I'll say that one of you only has to buy it. Okay. And Jenny, I believe you also got a Charmander, correct? All right. Kurt and Abigail, do you guys remember what you got? You got a Sawaddle, you got a Beetle.
Yeah, you got a what?
Oh wait, you got a Torkoal.
Yeah, that was the Torkoal. Yeah, I did. I have
So you got a Torkoal. What else did you get? And Kurt, what'd you get?
I racked up some points from the Test Your Strength booth, and I got a Chimchar. I was just so awed by Dante's and his Infernape's, performance. I just couldn't help myself.
I believe someone got a Charcoal as well.
What?
Charcoal?
Oh, that's right. I get it.
Maybe for
I think
Archie.
I got it. Yeah. I forgot about that. Oh yeah, I have it in my character.
It was an item that is kind of like Mystic Water. You deal an additional 1d6 fire damage with fire attacks.
Do they wear it?
Yeah, they just have it. Yeah, they have it.
They just have it.
That's cute.
But in conclusion, you see that the party was kind of winding down. You guys are partying left and right, probably having some drinks, free food. Everyone's, thanking the heroes. And you see that Perks also goes up to you, and he says,
Another gift for you all. I noticed that many of you have Pokemon that require stones to evolve. So we just got a surplus of these evolutionary stones for the festival, but we would like you to have them. So you guys had one Ice Stone, one Sunstone, one Firestone, and one Moonstone.
you also know that Perks basically was saying, Dante is 15, so I'm going to also, act as chief to guide him. He's not going to be our official elected leader yet because he's a minor. And so with that, you guys left Fire Lily Lake after replenishing some supplies, and you headed off into Foxglove Forest, where the sound of bugs was absent. Unfamiliar sound, seeing as how Foxglove Forest has all the bug-type Pokemon. And that's where we ended that.
Hello, and thank you again so much for listening. Again, oh man, I totally blanked on what I had to say. Anyway, let me start off with some good news and some bad news. Let's go with the bad news first. Unfortunately, I did lie, I'm a liar, about how this is going to probably be the last recording that I said in the very beginning. Unfortunately, we did have some Alola adventures that I'd like to sort of also do a sort of recap take on it. And hopefully I'm able to work hard enough to kind of get it up and running. And I do apologize for the sort of long delay in posting. I got distracted very heavily by Animal Crossing's new spooky update. So, guilty as charged. I'm not going to apologize for pumpkins. Oh, that sounds so bad to say. Anyway, but the good news is I do plan on using a service with my podcast hosting site, Buzzsprout, to try to come out with some higher quality audio recordings. So that'll take our older recordings and maybe tweak them enough so I can just either post them or edit them with very little, not so much of a heavy hand. And if you haven't yet, please check out our Patreon. You don't have to support us quite yet until we're possibly going to get enough support to start making bonus content. We are only, 2 episodes in, so I'm not expecting too much. But every little bit does help, and I will sincerely appreciate, and I'd love to see some names that I could shout out on, either in the middle, beginning, or end. Who knows? We're just kind of playing this by ear. But that our Patreon is patreon.com/OSEEPKMNpod. Go ahead, leave a comment on our Patreon. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. And I would just love to hear from everyone, and I appreciate the feedback so much. I just want to try to make this the best sort of experience or best quality that we can make it while considering the audience's opinion. Also, I'd love to do a quick shout out to my buddy Cisco. He runs a Pokemon
Pokemon Instagram relating to the TCG. So if you're really into that, go ahead and check it out. He does unboxings and when he opens the packages, I'm not sure what the correct nomenclature is for that. Unpacking, maybe. Unboxing, unpacking. He opens Pokemon cards and he gets some really cool art on them, and I just love the general vibe that he gives off. He's awesome. He's been really helping us with his fan base and sort of spreading the word. So BK Pokish Shop, I believe, on Instagram, and pins as well. He has some fairly decently priced pins, and I'm kind of a penny pincher myself, so these pins are pretty good quality. So yeah, visit our Patreon, leave a comment, let me know. Check out BK Poke Shop. He does giveaways every weekend too. I don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah, check him out. And thank you again so much for listening and kind of hearing what I have to say in this little afternote. Again, it means a lot to me. Thank you so much.